Hey everybody, so we're going to be working on a think page today. If you don't have this page, then you have the cut and paste activity, which is the other video. So we're going to be answering three questions that are related to our reading this week. I'm going to read the questions first and then we'll answer it together. You can either think of your own answers or you can copy my answers if you like what I wrote. Number 1 says, what makes you feel better? Why? Number 2 says, what do you like about staying home? Why? And number 3 says, who lives in your neighborhood? So, what makes you feel better? Why? We're going to put the question in the answer. So I'm going to say something that makes me feel better is, so something that makes me feel better is taking a short walk or break outside. Sometimes I just go outside right in front of my steps and just sit by my stairs. Sometimes I might walk around the block if there's not many people around. The area that I live in doesn't come with a lot of people. I know sometimes people live in a place where it's a lot busier, so it might be harder to take a walk. But luckily for me, it's pretty empty around here. Something that makes me feel better is taking a short walk or break outside because it is nice to have some fresh air. So for me, something that makes me feel better is taking a short walk or break outside because it is nice to have some fresh air. For you, it might be different. You might say something that makes me feel better is eating my favorite snack when I'm at home, or playing a game with my family, or reading or drawing makes me feel better. Any of those things are perfect. Everyone is different. Different things make different people feel better. Excuse me. Number 2 says, what do you like about staying home? Why? So I can say, one thing that I like about staying home is sleeping later in the morning because I don't have to wake up early for school. So one thing that I like about staying home is that I do sleep in a little bit later. Usually when I am at work, at school with you guys, I have to wake up around 6 to 6:30, whereas now, because I don't have to be at school at 8 a.m., sometimes I'll sleep maybe an hour later, maybe around 7, wake up around 7:30. And that's nice. It's nice to have that extra time in the morning. I would imagine you guys are probably doing the same, maybe resting a little bit in the morning so you don't have to wake up as early. Maybe you like staying home because you get to play with your family more. Maybe you like to be at home because you get to watch more TV. I know my kids are definitely watching more TV. Maybe you like to stay at home because it's more relaxing. So there's good things about staying home. Any of those things can work. Our last question says, who lives in your neighborhood? Who lives in your neighborhood? So this question I think is interesting because maybe you know your neighbors better than I do. I actually don't know my neighbors very well, but something that lives close to my neighborhood is someone who lives in my neighborhood is my grandma. And this is kind of a tricky one. My grandma does not live with me, but she lives downstairs. So she lives in the same building as me. But besides that, I don't actually know too many people who live in my neighborhood. There's lots of people that live here. I just don't know who. So, but maybe yours is a little different. Someone who lives in your neighborhood might be a friend. It might be another family member. It might be someone that you see often. So you can write whoever fits for you. And if your grandma lives in your neighborhood, then that works too. So let's read this one more time. What makes you feel better? Why? Something that makes me feel better is taking a short walk or break outside because it is nice to have some fresh air. 2. What do you like about staying home? Why? One thing that I like about staying home is sleeping later in the morning because I don't have to wake up early for school. Who lives in your neighborhood? Someone who lives in my neighborhood is my grandma.